How you doing? Check.
No, look at you. Look at Christ.
Hello guys, it is me, Jack Chin, and this is Red Trickster playing Dream Core. Today we're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna do something a little different. I have been blessed with the opportunity to know Obesssion. No, I don't really have an admirer, but I have. I turn this shit off. I know it's this is making that noise. Jesus, bro, that shit is a lot in my ear. Turn that off. I had the flashlight on. I had the flashlight with me. But yes, guys, look, you're not. Eyes are not deceiving you. We are in a new area. Welcome to Dead Mall. And before it started, it told me that this is a place where we could just explore. But anyways, yes, I've seen Obsession, the movie, and honestly, honestly, if I was to tell you the story, like the plot, straight up, not much to it. Guy runs into a mysterious toy or thing or whatever, and managed to entrance the girl or the crush of his dreams into being obsessed with him. Now, stories like this have kind of already been made, like in the past. They could go either which way of like the bitch coming back from the dead, it ending up in like murder, blood, all this other stuff. But the way that this story was told was just very unique and very good in my opinion, because for me, what my theories are what I have on an interpretation of what certain things mean or what's going on behind the scenes of whether or not the possessed person was like how possessed were they, like how much of out of control were they, and all this other stuff. It kind of comes into play when like you overthink a little bit of what happens. And I'm gonna try to keep this review a bit spoiler free, just in case there's people that haven't seen the movie still that may watch my channel, stumble upon my channel, especially with this game that I'm playing. But yeah. Ever since this was revealed too, like, or ever since I saw the trailer, I was always curious about exactly how the hell the story is going to be told. Because to be honest with you, obsession stories, all this other stuff, it's like it's really like always at the back of my mind. Like, oh my God, what if I had a girl that was obsessed with me or entity or whatever? You know, how would I react? Would that be a highlight of my day every day? Doubt it. It really depends on the context of what gets done and like what are the terms, the circumstances, all this other stuff. How much freedom do you truly have without stepping on the other person's toes, all this other stuff, and you know, shit like that. But this story, honestly, It's always come back to the same thing of what happens when you attempt to purchase love or happiness in general. Because let's keep it real. He bought a toy and it earned him uh, his crush falling in love with him, supposedly falling in love. Thing about it is, obsession is kind of always going to be a little bit different from love, like very much so. It's kind of in the realms of lust. Even Angel of Darkness, AOD knows this as well. He's always kind of known this. This is another reason of why it doesn't appreciate human enterprises and magic. And magic, when you try to have its when you try to have it utilized for human affairs and human emotions and stuff like that, or intentions, it usually goes awry. Honestly, just thinking of it, now that I put it into like full thought for a minute, it's kind of like if you was to have magical powers to fulfill any kind of wish or ideal, I'll never really ever come out as authentic. I'll never really be authentic. Just like how you would use AI, it would never really be authentic. Put it this way, you stumble upon an app on your phone that helps you, that literally builds a girl for you to get shit to your house for you to do whatever it is you want to do with it. Eventually, you would take it for granted. It would become something, you would lose the authenticity. You would lose the need or the want to have someone take the time to get to know you instead of them just knowing you. It would be uncanny. It would almost freak you out a bit. Huh. Constantly, he warns me about relying on magic for personal affairs such as love and all that other stuff. It is what it is. But that's basically like good interpretation of it. Movie, movie was great, man. Movie was a 10 out of 10. Trickster approves. And I'm gonna say this, I honestly feel a little bit more sympathetic towards the possessee there instead of the conjurer, we're gonna call him. Because unfortunately, a lot of the people that have watched or reviewed this are busy demonizing the um the main character Bear. And to that I agree to some point, but you have to remember they are kids and like they're fresh out of high school. If you follow the story for like correctly, they're pretty much fresh out of high school. They're trying to go to college literally right after. Good majority of them that's in the story are looking forward to going to college or like starting their lives. That's just how it is. That in mind, they're at a very young age dealing with crushes and people that they love and all the other stuff. I could definitely see this character being real of like not understanding, not being like emotionally enough. Not excusing Bear for being the character that he is in the movie, for sure, but it's definitely believable and it's not perfect at all, which made me respect the movie a lot more than I, I initially would have. Because for a premise like this, you need all story. You need all story, and the creep factor needs to be done well of exactly what that obsession will, what the obsession will enable you to do in terms of like abilities and in terms of tenacity. And honestly, I'm not disappointed at the slightest. My first introduction to a story like this was one of the stories from Tales of the Crypt. Now, that story, I initially remember the title of that short story, but that episode followed a similar premise, but only the main character was some sort of businessman that was infatuated with this equally powerful woman, and his goal was to make her fall in love with him through the use of voodoo, though. And this voodoo magic allows her to, against all odds, just attract herself to him. Like there's nothing she was able to do to like strap herself away from him. Unlike the Obsession movie with damn, got the dude's name already. Starts with Baker, Clive Baker or something like that. I think his name is. But the Obsession movie, these boundaries are somewhat met, which is surprising, and definitely helps out for the story because it shows that the possessee or the person that is possessed with this obsessed magic, obsessed love magic, is following orders. She is capable enough, or she's in that much infatuation and love for the main character that she is able to help herself and follow through with these orders that are given to her. This is another very, very good difference that I've noticed. Damn, this place is gonna be massive. Like I have floors and floors to go down, go through. All of the stuff is gonna be great. I like the mall section so far. Turn that light on, please. And it'd be really cool if I can go into one of these stores. I found out about this today, by the way. I didn't know that there was another fucking level. Or the last level was out already. So that means that this is like the last level to this game. I don't know if there's gonna be any more levels. Hopefully they update it to a second row of areas you can go through. But hey, it is what it is. Anyways, back to Obsession. A lot of things that I did, a lot of things that they did that I like. There's this quote that the Angel of Darkness knows. I'm shocked that the director knew. Stated, "Darkness is color. Nothingness is lack of everything." Now, it's not exactly word for word that quote, but it's something similar to that. Only the only person that I have ever known to know of such truths. Most human individuals don't really know this. They assume that a void or nothingness would be equivalent to a pitch black void or a pitch black expanse. But black is something we see when we do not. It's something only our eyes can see. As far as I'm concerned, or remember, as far as I know, bats don't see black, don't see the color black. They can see in the dark. Cats see differently as well. A lot of different animals see differently compared to humans. Meaning there's probably things, most definitely, most definitely things out there that we cannot perceive. Therefore, if we pass away, when we pass away, and we traverse into a sea of nothing, human minds will not know what that will look like until, you guessed it, we're dead. So yes, it's very impressive that the director himself knew that. But okay, so I've established that the movie is good. The movie is great. Tells a very decent story, and the characters are very believable and enjoyable to watch. Here are my theories on the movie, and this is a spoiler warning or whatever, you know, because I'm gonna get into a little bit of the meat and bones of the movie, of like what happens and the premise of it. So basically, in the movie, you would pick up that there are like two different characters in one when it comes to the character Nikki. There's Nikki, and then there's Wish Nikki, or they would say corrupted, or we would think corrupted Nikki. Corrupted Nikki or Wish Nikki is supposed to represent the idea of a lovey-dovey, over obsessed uh, girlfriend to a very needy boyfriend, a needy guy. But Nikki's obsession is still very different, very odd. The things that she does in the movie, the way that she goes about her obsession, she goes about it with complete obedience, but somehow she is still very incompetent. Her incompetence somewhat makes the movie eerie, because the tenacity, the the tenacity and the will is there. Like her effort is there. She's trying to show her love, and she's trying to show her effort or whatever. But the things that she's doing is counterproductive. It's like countering what she's trying to do. And one of my theories was, if he was to given a wish, and technically she's not abiding by being entranced by him or being succumb to this love, that she is being taken advantage of and not exactly giving consent to where you would think consent is given. Now, even though she has not given consent, technically by these means, by these terms, in the movie, I do believe that it is possible that the Willow Wish wasn't needed in the first place. And I'm gonna let you know why. It all goes back to her interest in like what happens on like what is revealed that she does with another character in the movie before the official wish took place. In the beginning of the movie, she establishes to the main character Bear that she only wants that he's the only one that she can truly be herself around. Truly be herself around and reveal and talk about a lot of her personal ideals or personal wishes and stuff like that. In essence, she is flat out telling him that he is special to her, and that he does matter in some way to his life. However, he believes it's probably not in the way that he wants. Now, when this happens throughout the movie, there are times where the real her pops out and establishes that that is not her. She is not. She's not meaning to do the things that she's doing, all this other thing. But that's the thing. From the beginning, when the wish first took in place, she wasn't completely entranced or completely turned into a different person. Her obsession and her infatuation started unfolding more and more as time passed. She humored the idea of Bear and him being together, Bear and her being together, but at the same time, she didn't want to take it too far. When she took it too far, that's when she started to fall back. She leaned into her feelings for him, but it wasn't exactly a complete obsession until later on in the film. So, that being said, there may have been moments in the show, in the movie, where she has had probably deep rooted feelings for him. And I feel like in the movie, it should have like always kept that energy of like it could lean one way or the other. If she could be into him, she could. She probably isn't into him because it would have kept us guessing. Did he really need the wish? Did he really have to go through all this when there was when literally the answer was to just do nothing? And if not nothing, perhaps next to nothing. He possibly wish himself to get the courage courage to talk to her himself. A lot of different things. Now, with this in mind, it just makes the story more and more eerie and more, I don't want to say depressing, but unfortunate, sad. That's just my personal opinion of it. In the movie, there are moments where it's like Nikki is fighting for her life. She's literally fighting herself. All due to expression, all due to losing mannerisms, losing the will of your body. These ideas are going to stick with me for a very long time. What's more impressive is that this is an uh, indie developer making this. I don't say developer, but indie filmmaker making this. He's typically a Instagram Shorts creator, YouTube Shorts creator. He makes content like that, where it's like awkward and funny. And it just strikes me, how could someone that's awkward and funny make a story like that? You would just think it would just never be a good matchup. Great. Now my eyes are watering for some dumbass reason. I keep seeing shit. I'm tired.